Oi, you wanker. Get me face off of your camera. What's up, my little hunters? It's your boy Mikiryu Shioto, and today I'm doing a review of the Hasbro Overwatch Junkrat. So let's get into the accessories right off the bat. Technically, yes, his gun is an accessory. So is his tire, as it does come off quite easily, actually. It's just held on with a peg that looks like that. You just, you know, attach it on, and you move on with your life. I'm not gonna. You kind of have to actually attach it back on. I shouldn't have popped it off. That was a dumb move on my behalf. 1 second. And there we go, it's back on. So, and then accessories, right. You get a relaxed orange cyborg hand for him. Very hyper detailed, amazingly detailed actually. And then you get a blast effect for the gun. I don't know why you'd want this as a blast effect. It's kind of more like a Mystic Force Blast or Broomstick, but whatever. And then you get a relaxed normal hand for him. I have him holding the charge for his explosive, which they say to actually use as basically a secondary foot, because in my experience he is not stable with that peg leg. So here you go, you've got his bomb, which he does tend to blow himself up on, and it just pegs on. So moving on to the figure itself. Amazing head sculpt on Junkrat himself. James Fawkes as his real name. I honestly thought that he was like in his 50s. Apparently he's only in his 20s. I don't know the exact age. So, yeah. Really cool rip saw tire. I think it's called a rip tire. I just call it the Tire of Doom. Got that really cool crossbones and, or I guess you'd say cross dynamite and Junkrat skull. I don't think he has one on his other shoulder. Nope. Got a little canteen of water in his pouch. God knows what's in there. Got his smiling bomb patches. Really cool detail for his leg. I really wish that they actually had incorporated a fully functional spring. I understand why they didn't, because, not very many people are going to go that hyper realistic on the figure itself. Really cool design for the arm. I love that they basically went with, I call it the stereotypical, but it's not really the stereotypical, but it is kind of the well-known format for robotic armed characters. They have this big, like, elbow guard and then 3 holes on the side of their arm. So that was something that was really cool to me. And then you've got the, I'm not even sure, I think this thing just shoots balls. They're not even grenades, they're just balls. So it shoots tennis balls, but they're like really painful. So yeah. And then got crap ton of grenades right by his head. Not very smart, but neither is he. And I do have him standing pretty much straight up, so technically when you pose him, you are supposed to have him basically hunched over, which makes sense because, he's got a giant freaking tire attached to his back, so more than likely you'll have him posed like this. He's on my bed, so he's not likely to stand up upright, but it's still a pretty good deal of articulation. So since we're doing articulation, we'll just do the back. So this is as far as he can move back, which is quite frankly amazing for a figure of his size and stature based on body type. Because he's long and lanky, so yeah, you can see the orange thing, but he doesn't look like he's going to be able to bend backwards that far, but he is. And then that's all the way forwards with that one. This joint basically just kind of accommodates the giant tire of death on his back. Sorry for that. didn't realize I wasn't looking through the cameras. He does have a double jointed knee, but due to the pants, you really only get the top one. You can kind of exploit them to get a 90-degree angle at the lower knee, but most of the time, yeah, you're not likely to get more than 90 degrees, period. He does have a ball joint for his boot, as you can see there. So, every ball joint can pretty much be a swivel, pivot, whatnot. Arms are on the butterfly joint, which all figures should have at this point. You know what, we're going to pop that off again. I will deal with the consequences later. All the way backwards, all the way forward, double jointed elbow. So you can get those good bicep curls. You're like, oh, yeah, look at my glorious muscles that have no bulge whatsoever. I know it's a terrible, what do you call that? Terrible accent, but I don't care. I'm from the US and I don't care. So pivot, rotation, yada yada. Same thing with the hand, which is currently holding his gun upside down, because I've taken that one out too many times. This arm is restricted to only, I think it's like 35 degrees of an angle. Like that far is all you're going to get out of him. And we're going to make him drop his gun. Just for the sake of his hand. So yeah, you're more likely going to get, I think that, well actually I guess that's like a 45 degree angle. So you get a 45 degree angle. And the hand does rotate, bends forwards and backwards. Funny thing is that if you actually do it right, you can leave his arm, his upper arm straight, and bend his lower arm, I think. It's been a while since I did this, but I think you can actually bend the lower portion. Yep, see? So you can get it to be like this. But typically you're going to keep the elbow guard down, and yeah. Here's the back detail without the tire. You do have the option to remove the tire, as you saw. The thing that I love the most is this piston in the back. It's not connected to anything, as you can see, but it's still there, and it's very cool to me that they did that much detail for Junkrat. Paint apps are amazing. I am sorely disappointed in the fact that the legs only bend 90 degrees. But then again, Junkrat's kind of perpetually in this kind of hunched over, accounting for the weight of the giant tire that's attached to his back, which, yeah, let's face it, you're gonna run as soon as you see this coming at you. And let's see if I can get that back on here. Got struggling and having to pause like I did last time. Probably not, but we're gonna try. Oh, yes. No, dang it. Getting his tire on is a very finicky process, but if you can get it in there, it's awesome, just like that. There we go. So that is everything for the Junkrat figure. Scale wise or not? On my scale, he is still above Sombra, but by decimals. Mainly because he still maintains the amount of articulation I expect from him. Especially given that he's got a cyborg arm and leg. Like I said, I do wish that the legs would bend more. Same with this arm. I have no problem with this arm, but the sculpting of very hard plastic that has points, this should have been fabric just to allow for the double jointed knee bend, but whatever. So he is better than Sombra, but worse than either of the Ghost Riders. And worse than mercy. So until next time, my little hunters, you should have stayed awake.